Imagine this. You've got your coffee mug, your phone, and of course your pride is telling you, I've got this, I don't need anyone or anything to help. As you stumble across the living room floor, and then bam, there goes your coffee, your phone is cracked, and well, your pride, you're now nursing your ego. Does this sound familiar? If it does, then you might need to watch this video. In this video, I'm going to talk about the types of mobility devices, the pros and cons, and then which one should you choose because there are so many out there. Whether you're dealing with a chronic condition, an injury, or just need a little extra stability, mobility aid can make all the difference. Choosing the wrong one, though, can cause frustration, fatigue, and even more accidents. So let's break down all the options to help you find the best fit for you. First, we have crutches. When I say crutches, I want to clarify that I'm talking about axillary, or the ones that go underneath your arm. They're typically for injuries, a temporary situation. The pros are they're cheap, they take up less space, they're easy to transport, and you can also, depending on your weight bearing status, change up how you use them, whether you use one or two, and how much weight you're allowed to put on the leg. Cons are, if you have poor stability, balance, strength, they're not going to be the best for you. And the longer that you use them, you can develop nerve injuries, underarm irritation. Also to your wrist, there's a lot of pressure as well. Typically, if you're going to need an assisted device that is for more than a short period of time, you're not going to want to go with crutches. There are a second kind of crutches, and they're called forearm or loft strand crutches. Now, these crutches can be used more for chronic conditions or longer term conditions. And I personally use loft strand crutches now. But the benefits of using these over regular axillary underarm crutches, they provide you more support, and you're not going to get that nerve issue irritation underneath your arms. And if you have one with little cuffs, you can bring your hand up and use it while still keeping it attached, and then put it back down. Also, some of the angles of it allow you a little less stress on your wrist. However, you do have to have good upper body strength, and as well as more stability and strength before you can progress to a crutch. You can also use one or two of these depending on how much extra support you need. The second category is canes. There are a variety of canes. There are adjustable canes, there's straight canes, there's quad canes, there's tripod canes. But I'm going to simplify it and keep it to two main categories: your straight cane or your single point cane, and then your quad cane. The difference is the straight cane is the ones that are just a stick at the end and they have one point that contacts the ground. The quad cane, on the other hand, if you look at it, has 4 feet that touch the ground. Now, with quad canes, there are typically two sizes. There's a narrower base and then a wider base. And that depends on how far apart the feet are that touch the ground. So, if you're looking at a cane, how do you know which one to use, the straight cane or the quad cane? Look at straight canes. Straight canes are great because they're very inexpensive, they take up less space, and they're easily transported. But the cons is if you have any major or moderate stability issues, strength issues, canes are not going to be enough support for you. Then for quad canes do offer a little bit more stability for those people. However, they do take up a little bit more space. They're still pretty cheap, but a little bit more than straight canes. They're easy to transport, but the cons are some people have difficulty using these because of the feet. They get their foot caught in it as they progress it because they don't keep it at the right distance away from them. So this may be something that some people have a difficulty adjusting and using. Also, it does have more support than the straight cane, but if you have any moderate or major balance issues, canes, once again, are not the direction you probably need to start out with at least. The mobility devices that we're going to talk about are walkers. Walkers can come in a variety of shapes and sizes, but we're going to keep it simple and talk about standard walkers, rolling walkers, and rollators. So, to tell you the difference, standard walkers are those that have 4 feet. They don't have wheels on any of their feet. Rolling walkers, or also called front wheel walkers, are ones that have wheels on the front side and the back two legs are just points. A lot of times people will use tennis ball on any of the legs that have just points and no wheels. And the third type that we're going to talk about is rollators. Rollators are what we call the Cadillac of walkers. Those are the ones that have the brakes, the seats, those kind of accessories on them. So if you need a walker, how do you know which one to choose? Walkers overall, if you're having a lot of stability issues, they provide the most support for you. So based on that, you may want to start in this category of walkers. Within that, there are some stepping stones. If you need more stability, obviously you want to take away the wheels. When you add wheels, whether they be front wheels or all four wheels like a rollator, with every time you add an extra wheel, then you decrease the stability of the assisted device that it's going to give you, and you have to have more balance. So with a standard walker, it has no wheels, so this provides the most stability, and if you're having to put a lot of weight through your arms, this allows you to do that safely without the walker sliding out from underneath you. One of the downsides of it is that you have to pick it up and progress it, so you can't ever get that normal walking pattern. It's more like a step 2 pattern, so you're going to have that stop and pause. It's going to take you longer, but it's going to provide more stability. Now if you have a little bit more balance, but you're still a little unsteady, then maybe you need the mid-range walker, which is the front wheeled or the rolling walker that has the 2 wheels in the front. With this one, you don't have to pick it up and place it, and as you're pushing it, get that normal walking pattern, which will help with energy and the ability to progress quicker, which will help you resume more of a normal walking pattern, and it'll take less time to get from point A to B. In my opinion, if you're having a lot of balance and stability issues, front-wheeled or rolling walkers are the best option to start with, because they provide you stability, but also offer you the option to be able to roll it and be able to use more of a normal walking pattern without the risk of the walker sliding out from underneath you, having 4 wheels like a rollator. So when they get further places from the house where they don't have a seat available if they need to, people tend to like rollators better because they have built-in seats that you can lock the brakes and sit down and take a break. So it may be that you need a front-wheeled walker at home, but then when you go out, you may need a rollator. But with that trade-off of having that seat and availability to sit down and rest, if you're able to use a rollator, it provides you a dual support for not only stability, but it also gives you ways to address energy conservation and fatigue and endurance issues as well. And with the walkers, you can also attach bags and accessories to be able to carry things. The rollator has a seat that you can put things on that you can also carry, and it allows you to do that and do those types of activities at home safely. For the overall category of walkers, the benefits are that it provides you more stability than crutches, canes, and the other assisted devices. Cons are they are more expensive and they do take up more space. And depending on which one you get, insurances won't pay for one versus the other without a certain time. Another option that is available in these assisted devices are bariatric options. So if you have a bigger frame, you have more body weight, you will probably need to look at getting the bariatric version, which are made sturdier and to support your body type. Now the downside with this is that even though it's going to be safer and support you, if you don't have door frames that are bigger than the standard sizes of inches, your walker may not fit through things like bathroom doors, bedroom doors, narrow hallways, narrow spaces if you have a lot more clutter or furniture. So something to think about. If you're having a lot of balance issues, you may need to use a wheelchair. And if this is you, watch the video that I'm going to release soon about the types of wheelchairs, manual versus electrical, and which one will be the best for you. If this video is helpful, make sure you like the video, you follow and subscribe to my channel, because I will be releasing tons more videos about how you can understand, manage, and adapt with your chronic conditions and your limitations. don't let your medical and physical impairments control your life. It's time to move beyond those limitations.